I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, that's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The payoff. And for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have won the pennant.
I think I speak for the entire state of Wisconsin when I say, go Blue Jays! And don't you dare pin this Canada versus the U.S. crap on me. I don't want to hear it. There is a small county, kind of a large county, a small county that maybe wants the Dodgers, and that's it. To the Blue Jays, I cheers you, and here we go. What is up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Inside Wisconsin Sports is on your radio, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name is Trevor Thomas. He is Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
You can follow our lives, the good, the bad, the ugly, on Twitter. It is at Inside Wis Sports for the show. Myself at Trevor Thomas IW. For Joshy at On Air Josh, and the network at WI Sports Radio. If you want to stay in the know, by the way, in Wisco, those are the spots. Josh and I are funny, we think. Sometimes not.
Yeah. Oh, we think so. That's what matters.
Funny looking.
Yeah.
Funny looking.
Oh, that's very true.
Watch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/at WI Sports Radio, Sports Radio, or just search Inside Wisconsin Sports. Our thanks to the call. There it is, Josh, the one that we never got.
Mm-hmm.
The call. The Blue Jays are moving on to the World Series in the two greatest words in sports, and it lived up to it last night.
Very true.
Game 7.
Game 7. Man, look, when you're watching that game and you see just the way that the Mariners are playing, they're up 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was absolutely like, well, they're making their first one. And then in one swing, that's all it takes. One swing. And Toronto and all of Canada are losing their minds.
We can cheer for them even though it's Canada, right? Like, we don't have to.
Oh, there are reasons why you wouldn't cheer for Canada, but they all go out the window because they're facing the Dodgers.
Thank you.
Yeah, listen, Canada, it's not even about it not being the United States. It's about, look, Canada also, Toronto also spent money. Their payroll's not nothing. They're not the Mariners, in the bottom half.
I definitely wanted the Mariners. I think we all did.
Right. We wanted Mariners Brewers.
We did.
That's what we all wanted. That's what I wanted at the start of the bracket.
That's a great story.
Oh, great story.
Pilots, the move, 1970.
Neither team ever having a championship.
Ever. And Toronto goes back for the first time since 1993, 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, like, I know I'm a little bit older than you, but I remember that like yesterday.
Oh, I don't.
Joe Carter walk-off home run. Like, if you saw a video of that, would you know what it is?
Yes.
That's one of only 2 times ever that's happened where it was a walk-off home run to win the World Series.
Yep.
We have a Wisconsin reason, by the way, to cheer for the Blue Jays.
Oh, we do.
And we reached out to him to see if he'd jump on. We think he's a little busy. Do you know that Dalton Varsho is from Marshfield, Wisconsin?
I did not.
He played at UW Milwaukee, and he played for the Eau Claire Express in the Northwoods League in 2015 and 2016 for his uncle, Dale Varsho, who's still the manager, who we have also reached out to see if we could get comment and or come on the show to talk about Dalton Varsho. So see, John and I on the podcast call it 3 degrees of cheese. There is no way something in the world cannot be traced back to Wisconsin in 3 degrees or less. Like, eat your heart out, Kevin Bacon. 3 degrees of cheese. So the Blue Jays is it. Blue Jays, Dodgers, the 2025 World Series. And I think I speak, as I said, for the entire state of Wisconsin that it is a Go Blue Jays World Series. And you know what I wish? In 4. How about that?
Oh, that'd be nice. Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
As difficult as this is, just trying to make this interesting, right? If you're looking for a reason to not cheer for the Blue Jays, does it matter if the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays as far as this whole argument that existed about the salary cap being, that whole conversation? Does that argument go away if the Blue Jays win? I personally don't think so because, as I mentioned, I think they were like the 5th highest payroll.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up right now. The 2025 MLB Team Salary Payroll Tracker. Drum roll, please. 7th. They were 7th.
7th.
$255 million.
Yeah, so still a whole lot of money.
Lots. I mean, the Dodgers were, according to this payroll tracker, first at $350 million. The Mets, $342 million. Toronto comes in 7. Scrolling down, Brewers, 17, 121. Well, I thought it was 23 for some reason. This is a different list than I've seen. Maybe this is like total payroll, active payroll, injured payroll.
Different payrolls. Jose from Tosa, who's watching us live on YouTube right now.
What's up, Jose?
He chimes in and says, I'm so torn. My heart says, come on, Blue Jays, but my head says, hopefully the Dodgers just crush them. And then the MLB feels further pressure to put a salary cap in place. That's my question a segment early. Does the Blue Jays winning or losing really impact that conversation? I don't know the difference between whatever the Dodgers spent and what the Blue Jays spent is significant enough to really sway that conversation. If it was the Mariners, absolutely. Blue Jays, I don't think so.
We didn't really spend much, if any, time talking about this yesterday in regards to the salary cap and what's happening with the collective bargaining agreement. Why? Because it was too soon.
True. It was.
I didn't want to talk about it on Monday.
We weren't ready.
We're still the Brewers' body wasn't even cold yet.
Yeah.
Like, we just needed a moment. And I don't want to blame money. I do not want to blame money. I understand that this plays a role. But it's easy for us, Josh, as Brewers fans all season long to go, best team in baseball, MLB #1 seed, win the Central again, all the things. And I don't know. I didn't talk about money. I don't remember you talking about money. I didn't bring up payroll then. It was more of a, hey, look at the little engine that could.
Well, you know why we didn't? Because
we were winning.
And because the team with all the money wasn't.
Right.
If the Dodgers were also right there with us for that #1 seed in the NL, maybe it's a different conversation, but they had injuries and they were blowing it. And there was a chance they weren't even going to win the division and that the Padres were going to pass them and all these other things. And so we weren't thinking about what the Dodgers were and what they could be. And then they came on like crazy. And all of a sudden the whole salary conversation is right back in play.
Dodgers beat Philly, #3 on the payroll. They were up against San Diego in the division, #6 in the payroll. Like, this is not a secret that money talks.
Right.
I just wasn't sure if it was something that we wanted to blame. And I think upon further review, Josh, you'll be proud of me. This is just realistic information.
Whoa.
I know.
Are you feeling okay?
Careful.
Yeah,
careful.
easy.
I'll jump back on the optimism train here in a minute.
All right.
It is what it is. That's what I mean. Like, I understand that money talks. We're going to talk about that later in the show in regards to the, quote, tools for the job that Wisconsin football needs. #money, I guess. We'll review that from Chris
Dodger
McIntosh.
money.
Yeah, Dodger money is right. You imagine?
Oh, no, literally I can't.
So, and there was a lot of conversation about this yesterday, and I was annoyed. There was a little bit during our show, and then Rami and John Kuhn from 9 to noon were talking about it. There's this comparison to what Mark Antanasio paid for the Brewers versus what they're worth today. As if that is just cash laying around that we get to input into the team. I've been on a banking or credit union website before. I see home equity loans, but I don't see the MLB team equity loans. Like, that's not a thing. This is an investment. This is a business deal. Everybody that keeps saying that Mark Antanasio needs to lose money to win all the things, which I know you talked about yesterday with how much World Series gear everybody would buy and what the ticket income would be and so on. But it's still a dollars and cents game. The amount of money that is behind the LA Dodgers does not equal the amount of money behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Also, revenue sharing. That is something the MLB has a much greater chance of getting to some sort of conclusion on that would level the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we're ever going to see a salary cap in Major League Baseball. Is it too far gone is kind of where my head's at with all the money stuff.
If this actually happened, no one would ever be able to say that the fans don't have some weight in what happens in professional sports, because there's no way that it's just strictly owners and players. Their arguments lead to a salary cap. There's no way. It would have to be that there's fan base, and overall liking of the sport would have to come and have a play for this to actually mean something. And that's why I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think that Manfred and the rest of the people that make the decisions actually care or take what fans want seriously. They take what leads to money, and that's it.
The 29th payroll in the Major League Baseball in 2025 was the Athletics, the homeless Athletics.
Yes.
$78,384,241. Who is building a brand new stadium in Las Vegas, moving the entire team so that they're more relevant, they can make more money and invest more in the team. Does Milwaukee understand that we're up against it in the market that we are, and yet we're top 10 in attendance every single year because baseball means something different to us? But the money here is not the Las Vegas money or the LA money, New York, Chicago, Toronto. Chicago again, even though the White Sox are like third to last, by the way. So sometimes market doesn't have much to do with it.
But I think that's the whole point, is that when you look at every other sports league, professional sports league, the salary cap stops that from being the big talking point. It stops it being about the money and being about the franchise. If there was a salary cap, the MLB would have no choice but to celebrate a little bit more the Milwaukee Brewers. They'd have no choice. Look at the Green Bay Packers. Look at what the Packers are. They can't. They're smallest town, smallest everything. But they're in the news. They're in these because you have to focus on the talent. You have to focus on the play on the field. You don't have to do that if you can sign a guy for $700 million and then defer the majority of it and then sell 90 billion jerseys to Japan. You don't have to worry about any of that. You know what I mean?
That's what Nick in Greenfield is saying on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. We want to hear from you too, by the way. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Nick says, I don't think a salary cap will happen. It's just not an MLB decision. The players would need to agree to the CBA in regards to the salary cap. Better revenue sharing and closing that deferred salary loophole are more likely. Oh, great. More loopholes.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't work.
Right. I mean, listen, the fact that the Dodgers found this loophole with Ohtani you take that away. It doesn't change much. It changes something. It doesn't change much.
I think we're supposed to use the words allegedly or hypothetically. We'll use that one. Hypothetically speaking.
Yes.
How much money did the Dodgers possibly, hypothetically pay for all of that betting on baseball stuff to just go away?
Just go away. Shush.
Did you guys, you guys, that went away quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford, pun intended, for that to be anything remotely close to a news story, because baseball would probably never recover from that, specifically when we're talking about what we are right now.
And this is why it's frustrating if you're an emotional fan in a small market like we are, because you gotta step so far back to see why these decisions were made and why the hammer didn't fall on Ohtani and the Dodgers, etc. Because MLB was like, no, not the golden goose. No. Okay, okay, push it aside. It's all going to be okay. We're going to wipe this clean, and we're going to make so much money off of him. And they needed him. Ohtani, the MLB needed Ohtani to
Big
be in a city like Los Angeles. Like, they needed him to be on a team like the Dodgers too. I don't think we think about that enough. We love being in a small market, cheering for a small market team, that a team has their player, right? Like the fact that Toronto has Vlad Guerrero Jr. Like, we love that. We love that that's their guy, right? We don't want to see Vlad Guerrero Jr. go to the Yankees. We want him to stay in Toronto. The MLB didn't want Ohtani to be the Angels guy. They needed him to go to a team like the Dodgers so that they could create so much buzz overseas, so that they could make so much more money and grow the game, quote unquote, as much as they did. That's why it's like, at the end of the day, you're thinking about salary cap, guys. It's all about the money, and Manfred's making the money. Plain and simple.
He's Japanese, right? That's where Ohtani's from.
Yeah.
How do you say fall guy in Japanese?
Ooh,
because somebody went up to that interpreter and was like, "Hey, fall guy, that's going to be you, and shut your mouth, shut your face."
Yeah. Yep.
It's just insane how that happens in professional sports, and it bothers me because here we are as Brewers fans trying to just understand what happened this year, and we watch what's going on now and go, "We got nothing." How do we compete? And I understand that we competed, but I couldn't believe how many tweets and stuff I was reviewing yesterday from the weekend that said the regular season is not the postseason. Well, duh, got it, right? But what they're saying is that teams that have that much payroll can afford other players that are just as talented to be in the lineup during the regular season, knowing full well all they have to do is get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's literally what's happening before our eyes.
It's not just baseball either. It's the NBA. That was the first thing that I said when we started the postseason. I said, listen, this Dodgers team, as soon as they got through the Reds, I said, this Dodgers team is made up of future Hall of Famers. Future Hall of Famers know how to flip that switch. They know how to coast. Now the games mean everything. Now I'm going to go clutch. They know how to do it. George Springer proved that last night for Toronto.
The Springer dinger.
He's that. Listen, and I'm happy for Toronto. I'm not a Springer fan. I did not like him on the Astros. Was not a big fan of that team, but he is that type of player. The Brewers don't have that type of player. That is an example of frustrated Brewers fans saying, this is the type of guy that the Milwaukee Brewers need to go get. Someone that has that clutch, future Hall of Famer gene to be that spark in the postseason.
Do we have a future Hall of Famer on the team right now?
No.
Really?
No, I'm not going to say Cheerios right now.
I think Yelich?
No. Yelich will not make the Hall of Fame.
Anymore.
Maybe if he wins another one, if he goes back-to-back MVP, maybe then. He
was on track for sure.
Yep. Before that injury, and to be honest with you, you look at the stats, he should have won it anyway.
Right.
Like he shouldn't even needed the last 2 weeks.
You're talking about the year that he rifled one off his kneecap, right?
Correct. Yeah, went down like a ton of bricks.
And that, honestly, we have not seen that Yelich since.
Nope.
And then the back stuff happened.
Yep.
And then he came on this year, and then the playoffs happened.
Yep. And here we are.
What is happening here is this amazing new Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Listen to the lineup that's now statewide. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh from 6 to 9.
That's us. 9
to noon. That's us. Not 9 to noon. 6 to 9. 9 to noon. That's John Kuhn and Rami Metcalf. Noon to 2 is the Mason Crosby Show, who we're going to hear from a little bit later in the show. They had the former record holder yesterday. That's Mason Crosby. With the new record holder yesterday. That's Luke Havershik. That was a weird conversation, but I love the way Mason started it. That's
beautiful.
The only part of the interview I want to play. I mean, it was a great interview. Go look it up. And the way Mason started it was phenomenal. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, and the post-game show with Tommy Wartz from 5 to 6, statewide on all of these affiliates on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. in Wausau on 93.9 The Game, in Duluth Superior on WDSM 710, in Milwaukee on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, and in Green Bay and Appleton on 99.7 and 101.9 WNFL. You are listening to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Josh, I have questions.
I had a feeling you might.
And that's next. Keep it here. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We love your input. So get with us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250 for a segment we call I Have Questions. He didn't have a good night, by the way.
I was gonna say, did we curse him? By the way, he out.
Mr. Rollins is on the shelf for a bit. Interesting.
T's and P's to him.
Stripped of the title.
Spoiler.
And now, what annoys him more, if I may go on a WWE tangent for just a second?
Yeah.
If I'm him and I know the CM Punk thing,
Yeah.
oh, imagine if he ends up with it because he got injured. That's
I'm hoping that's what happens.
It's got to be what happens. Me too.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mr. Yeet. All right, I have questions, Josh, and it starts with this for me.
Okay.
Yesterday, Matt LaFleur had his press conference.
Okay.
And you brought up a great point to me because I don't know if it's an issue. I don't think I have issues with the way Matt LaFleur coaches and or does pressers, but I was thinking about this on the way in. I view professional athletes and coaches through a lens of what I want to have a beer with them. Like, do I want to sit down and have a beer with you, XYZ pro sport athlete? There's a lot of people that I want to sit down and have a beer with. And I watch the way Matt LaFleur handles the team, and I go, I would definitely take a beer with him,
Sure.
but I'm not sure of his personality. And I've talked about that in the past, and that is not a judgy judgerson. It's just me noticing that not everybody gets to be as bubbly as you and I. However, you brought up a great point to me yesterday, and I think you have the audio for it, of one Josh McDaniel.
Mike,
him too.
Yeah.
On where his head is in regards to the head coaching position.
So this specifically is he was asked about who was going to start, if Tua was going to start for the Dolphins. And here's what he had to say.
Injury. Yeah, he's going to take the snaps this week, and he's going to be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
Okay. So we could have that.
You know how they say the grass isn't always greener?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, woof.
Right. And so that's my question with this, because we have a guy that handles himself insanely professionally and appears to be a pretty good coach of a 4-5 1-1 team. Like, this is going well. So what would we rather have? Like, cake you need it too type stuff? Do we all compare to Mr. Muscles in Detroit? That's what I call him.
Yeah.
Mr. Muscles.
Yeah.
But what do we want, Josh? What would you rather have?
Well, and so, okay, there's a big difference between what they have in Detroit and what they have in Miami.
I agree.
Okay.
And comparing that to what we have here.
Correct. Three very different coaches. And remember, we're just speaking about the way that they handle themselves to the media, the way that the coach we see, right? I'm not talking about what they're doing in practice or what happens behind closed doors, specifically what we see at podiums and on the sidelines.
Yeah, on the sideline too. Yeah, that matters.
But I don't think in Green Bay we would let a McDaniel still be here. If you get to the point as a head coach to where you're saying he's going to be our starter and the plan is to not throw 10 picks, I don't think that the Packers are holding on to that head coach.
That's not how we do things here.
No. And so that's the only thing that makes me go, all right, so if the Packers organization would never get to that point, then would I rather have someone like a Campbell, someone who's a little bit more professional? I still don't know. I feel like we're annoyed with the LaFleur, that's on me, we got to be better answers that are just so typical. But as you said, as we've mentioned, the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse.
What's your question?
My question comes from Twitter. And I did have this thought, but then I saw a few people who were actually tweeting this. And I tweeted it last night, and I said, Trevor, I have questions.
Yeah. Can we not do that right before I lay down? Because my body was tired, but my brain's like, oh, let's think about this for the next 2 hours.
So after the Mariners got beat yesterday, their season comes to an end in Game 7. First chance to ever make a World Series. Dies on the swing of one pitch. Someone said, I'm so glad this didn't happen to us being the Brewers. I don't think I could have handled Grant Anderson giving up a 3-run homer in Game 7. So my question is, which would you rather have had? Going down to Game 7 in the NLCS and then having your heart ripped out just like it was against Pete Alonso in the 9th in that wild card series, knowing you were that close, getting back to Game 7 against the Dodgers twice and then losing it, or getting just swept away by a juggernaut and saying, well, the Dodgers are an unstoppable force. We never had a shot to begin with.
So this isn't a yes or no, right? You have to pick one.
You got to pick one.
I want it to play out the way it did.
You'd rather have the sweep.
Absolutely. We have an excuse right now.
Oh.
If we make it to Game 7 and we're up 3-1 and we give up a home run to lose it, I don't know that we're as easily swallowing that as we are a 4-game sweep by the Dodgers, because the Dodgers Brewers will be forever known as the apples to oranges series.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same team, not the same payroll, not the same pitchers, not the same anything. If we got to a Game 7 against let's call it a lesser team like the Blue Jays, or maybe the
Padres, or
played right, something like that.
Yeah.
Then I can say, oh man, we should have won that. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing about me that says right now that we should have won the series against the Dodgers.
Okay, devil's advocate. You get it to a Game 7, the whole argument against the Cubs, all the Cub fans, all the trolling of the Cubs won more games in the postseason than the Brewers did. All of those bullet points go away because you made a series out of it. You put up a fight. You don't have that right now when you got your butt kicked.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't have an answer. That's why I have the question, because I don't know which I would have preferred. I don't know which death I would have preferred, the Mariners or the Brewers.
I'm not opposed to just getting out like that. You know what I'm saying? Heartbreak is heartbreak. That you can't get around that. And that person has a bit of a point. That would be worse. In Game 7 in the 7th inning, 3-1, and let's just say McGill is pitching, or Uribe, or somebody that we've been able to count on all year, and dinger.
Ohtani.
Dinger.
Yeah. Ohtani hits one. Yeah.
1,000 feet.
Right.
That's worse. That's worse. I'd rather get swept.
The Nicolay Law fan talking text line, and I knew that this was going to get some differing opinions chiming in this morning. Jason in Wind Lake says, I'd rather our team hit the ball and lose fighting. Then Nick in Greenfield says, I much prefer getting swept and seeing the loss coming. Doesn't mess with your emotions as much. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, and it sucks because either way it ends with a loss. But how you die is something to think about. We saw two different scenarios play out. And listen, I know some Mariners fans. You saw them on social media. I knew people that were selling prized possessions to get tickets because they thought that they were going to have a chance to go to a World Series game, and they needed to get that money. I mean, and then it goes down in one swing like that. Is that heartbreak worse than never being in it to begin with?
Yes, and we have examples of that. That Mets series last year, that was the example that's the closest thing we have in comparing.
Sure.
And that heartbreak was bad. Like the way that we came back, took the lead, and then gave it up with a home run.
Yeah.
I would much rather get swept. I have processed the sweep. We know exactly what happened and why it happened. It's what are you reading?
I'm sorry. Brett.
No.
Brett on the 715 says, who the heck cares what the Cubs fans have to say? We still beat them. I take the sweep. You're really going at it like, I don't care what they have to say. Go us.
Yeah.
I'd rather have us lose every game.
Well,
Those are very contradicting
There's some
thoughts.
bad truth to that, though, unfortunately, too. I mean, Pat Murphy talked about it after the game. Like, the World Series for the Brewers right now was the Cubs. And that sucks because that took a lot out of us. Now, is that what shut off our hitting machine? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
The pitching was that good. Yeah, I guess I'd rather take the sweep. I'd take the sweep.
Yeah,
Here's one other question I have.
Okay.
And I want the input from the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. This will probably carry over into the most electrifying sound of the day a little bit in the next segment. What is the sports scenario you dreamed of when you were a kid? I thought about this last night in that game, right? 7th inning, down 3-1, game 7 to go to the World Series, and Springer hits a home run that essentially put them there. What was it that you dreamt of when you were a kid playing in the backyard or with your buddies in the street or whatever the case may be? Was it, and this is what it sounds like in my head, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, down 3, full count, grand slam to win the World Series, and the Milwaukee Brewers are world champions of baseball?
Yeah.
What did you dream of? Like the 300 in bowling?
Oh no, mine is easy. I was the chubby white kid in the full Jordan outfit playing basketball outside of his house by himself, going 3 seconds left. Jordan has it. Oh, it's off the rim, but there's a second left. And he puts it, oh, it's just over, but there's still half a second. And he puts it up a third. Oh, and it's almost in. And just trying to get the ball in. That was me. That was me reliving, that moment, game 6.
Did I ever tell you the story about me trying to be Jordan in the yard basketball?
I mean, all 6'8" of you. I'm surprised you weren't.
No. I was like 9 years old. I was that kid that lost both front teeth at the same time. But
Good.
But after that, when those adult ones came in, I lost both sides.
Oh no.
Okay. I only had like that.
Yeah.
The front ones.
Yeah, like a rabbit.
So what did Jordan do? Every time he dunked, he would go up and the tongue was out and the mouth was open and it bam. We had a neighbor named Robbie Tucker. And his basketball hoop was the only adjustable one in the neighborhood. We were kids, 9 years old, 10 years old, 8 years old. I don't know. Long story short, we're there. We're dunking, doing the whole thing. Josh, I legit got my teeth stuck in the net. Can't make it up.
No.
If Jason from the 920 was listening right now, he's not, because he's not up yet. I guarantee it. He's got this story. And they had to I wasn't dangling per se, but I was definitely on my tippy toes. I could not get my mouth out of the net. So that scenario played out for me in real life. Turns out didn't win the championship with the dunk because I was stuck.
The talking text line is starting to load up here on this conversation of best way to die. And in Oconomowoc says
pause. We're not talking about death.
Correct. Yes. Clarification.
What's the best way to die? What station did I turn on?
Yeah, clarification. To have your sports team end their season.
Thank you.
And says death by 1,000 paper cuts. Shit. That's keep fighting, keep hacking. Go up here. There was one. Oh, Andy in Brookfield said, if you related to a different sport, it would be like Brandon Bostic. Nobody will ever forget his name now.
Ooh,
that's a good point, right? Everyone in Seattle is looking at that picture, that decision, put out that picture,
ooh.
that decision that led to the end of the dream in one swing. It's a good point, Andy.
That's a really good point, the way he just put that.
Yep.
Because if you say the words Brandon Bostic, you're like, yep, you know exactly what that means.
Yeah, and I don't want you to say it again.
No, let's move on. Let's move on to the most electrifying sound of the day. That is next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is time for today's most electrifying sound of the day.
It's time for
the most electrifying
sound of the day.
The most electrifying
On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
First real scoring chance for the Blue Jays since the first inning. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Left field and deep. Rosarena turns. Gone! A Springer! Dinger! 4-3 Blue Jays in the bottom of the seventh.
And that was Ben Schulman on Blue Jays Radio Network with our most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Give them a call today or visit bestelect.com. Man, when you hear like the crying on that call,
Yeah.
that's just an epic call. That's a call for the ages.
Good thing it's Take Back Tuesday, because I think I might take back that I don't want that for the, yeah.
Ooh.
I know. It's
Ooh.
Tuesday. Hey, it's Tuesday.
Are you taking back a take
Not
from
yet,
last
not yet.
segment?
Later in the show, maybe.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
But that's hard to beat. You want that. No,
Come on.
to be fair, the question wasn't, do I want that for the Brewers? The question was, would I rather have that happen to the Brewers or get swept?
Sure.
I don't know if I'm taking that back. But
And you asked me, we talked about this last night. You were like, did you see the celebration from the Dodgers after the game? Like a lot of people talking about, it was very nonchalant in comparison to what we saw in Toronto.
Well, I talked to you about that because I really choose when the Brewers lose in the playoffs not to have the image of the other team celebrating in my head.
Yeah.
As
Spoken like a true fan.
Well, I think that was a mistake. If I'm
Really?
being honest. I'll take that back in the 8 o'clock hour too. That's
He's got
a
a lot to
mistake.
take back.
Yeah, whatever. It's the beauty of this. When you do this every day, you're going to say some dumb stuff that you get to take back on Tuesdays. Take back Tuesday.
I love
Going
it.
up in the 8 o'clock hour. No, I didn't want that image in my head. But then you watch last night and the Blue Jays celebrate,
Mm-hmm.
and then watching the Mariners watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand. Like now it hurts more. It hurt more last night. I felt worse last night about the Brewers not making it than I did when they lost on Friday.
Really?
Last night hurt worse.
Really?
Mhm.
Just
'Cause I
because
want-
you saw what could have been?
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
When they lost, I turned it off. And I was immediately like, nope, don't want that. Don't want to see our guys sad. No, I think Brewers fans need to experience that. So I was wrong. Don't clip that. But it
It's
just,
getting clipped. Don't worry.
I don't want to have that image in my head, especially because it's the Dodgers. I caught myself there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like them. Don't want to watch them celebrate. I do enjoy watching the Packers celebrate. And we have a lot to celebrate right now with the Green Bay Packers. In the top of the next hour, it's the morning mind dump. And we're going to have a long conversation about what our expectations of the Packers should be. There's a lot of conversation around, well, they're not playing the way they should, or we're not coaching the way they should, or time management, or just all of the things that we see from our couch
Mm-hmm.
and not from the sideline. And coach was talking about that yesterday. They're 4-1-1, first place in the NFC North, which, by the way, it is still fascinating to me that a tie puts them above the second place team that has more wins. I was told there would be no math, but I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do either.
How are you 4-1-1 with a winning percentage of .750, or you're 5-2, but your winning percentage is only 714? I understand they have one more loss than we do, which is where the differential comes.
A loss means more than a win? Is that?
I think they mean equally as much. And if we have one less loss, I want to know what a tie means.
That's
does
what I'm
that mean?
saying. This is confusing. I don't get it.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
But We're in first place.
I don't understand.
Okay, so but that is what it is.
I'm
And
happy
yet,
about it.
If you talk to any Packers fan right now, they're very unsure of this team.
I understand that as well, though.
But why? That's what I want to talk about in the morning mind dump. Why? What are we confused about? Are expectations too high? What do we need to see to feel better? Hello, 4-1-1, first place. Last I checked, that qualifies as doing something right. And is it maybe just the way it feels when we win? It's not a big blowout. Listen, you look at the Cardinals, their record, Matt said this in his press conference yesterday, it does not match. Their record does not match their ability to play football. Is that what we feel about the Packers? Does their record not match what we think their ability to play football is? I'm confused.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to dissect about this team. There's a lot to focus on. And that's what we do as fans. I get it.
The morning mind dump. We do it every day at 7:02 when we come back from break at the top of the hour. The coffee is kicked in. This is a safe place. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line is open. 414-677-1250. Take a breath and just get it off your chest. Get it out of your head. Those voices in your head that are bugging you about something, whether it's Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks start tomorrow, you've got an argument, we want to hear it. Text it to us or call us, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. Josh, what is one thing that you have to get off your chest? I know we're doing it next, but what can we look forward to? Because your rants are the best.
I know this is going to be crazy. My morning mind dump includes a little bit of relief today. I know. It's weird. But I'll explain in the morning mind dump.
414-677-1250, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I promise you, this show, 100% dedicated to the people, the stories, and what I call the statriotism of America's Dairyland.
Love that.
Statriotism. I have no idea that's how you spell it, but that's how I spell it. A zealous patriotism for one's home state. I think we qualify. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. The morning mind dump is next. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Playing at the Pittsburgh Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's as simple as that. That is for you guys to talk about. Granted, I mean, we've got a lot of respect and love for Aaron. I mean, what he's done here, I mean, is a Hall of Famer. And I know, like, our past together, we had a lot of great moments. But this game is not about that. It's about going to Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football. Our guys will be jacked up. Their guys will be jacked up. It's about the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's for you guys to talk about all those other storylines.
You got it. You got it. We'll talk about it.
Will do, Coach.
Got her. We'll take it from here. This is the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name is Trevor Thomas. He is Josh Albrecht. We are Inside Wisconsin Sports. Follow the show on Twitter at Inside Wis Sports. Trevor Thomas IW and On Air Josh at Trevor Thomas IW at On Air Josh at Inside Wis Sports. That's our life. If you want to follow along, make fun of us, tweet at us, get mad at us, celebrate with us, troll us, because those people exist. What are you doing with your life? I have questions. Write that down for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll write
that down. Doing? What are trolls doing with their life? Why are you waking up and texting a radio show that you're clearly listening to? Annoyed. I love it.
Hey, because they're going to work at a place they don't want to go.
Understand trolls.
Grumpy folks.
That's what somebody else. At WI Sports Radio, you can follow along with the network there as well, and watch us on YouTube. YouTube.com at WI Sports Radio. We do it every morning at 7 o'clock. The coffee's kicked in. It's a safe place, and we want to hear from you on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Let's get the voices out of our head. Time for the Morning Mind Dump.
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food. We've got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Morning Mind Dump. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh. Get them out. Get your thoughts out. Get it off your chest. Don't carry it with you today. This is why we do this. It's just, you take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring it into work. Don't bring it into home. Leave it in the car. Leave it in somewhere else or with us, frankly. Leave it with us.
Yeah, we got room.
414-677-1250. All right, Josh, you go first.
All right, I wrote all these down as random thoughts for my morning mind dump. All right, first of all, I'm watching the end of Game 7, and they're wearing the hats. I don't like the LCS hats, which is a good thing, because I would have been really mad if they were great and I couldn't get a Brewers one. Then I saw just the normal on-field hat with that World Series patch, and I went, but I could have really used that Brewer hat. Would have loved to have that one. Didn't get that. I am not ready for NBA basketball at all. It starts tomorrow, and I'm not even close to ready. I'm not mentally prepared. I understand it's the beginning of the season, and you don't have to necessarily be locked in, but I am so not ready for NBA basketball at all. We got to stop with these Monday Night Football doubleheaders, especially if they're going to be that late. Because here's what happened. I had no intention of watching the Texans and the Seahawks last night. But then once the Mariners lost, I had to find out what was going to happen with the Seahawks, because I was like, if the Seahawks also lose this game that they were winning against the Texans, is that the worst night in the history of one sports city? Like, but now I'm up and way too late. Can't start the game that late.
You know how much I care?
It's driving me nuts.
I don't even know who won.
Well, fair point. But
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle won.
Okay.
Texans didn't come back. But if they would have, I was going to be like, wow, does this suck to be a Seattle sports fan this morning? And then, as I'm scrolling on Twitter, someone points out that there's only one team that Aaron Rodgers has not beat, and that is the Green Bay Packers.
Great.
And that had me thinking, and I'm not confident that he's going to wake up Monday morning still having one team that he has not beat.
This is Favre 2.0.
And I don't like it, Trevor.
All of it, this whole thing is Favre 2.0. It's kind of freaky. Like, living this twice over makes you think we're in a Matrix. It is identical to what happened last time. He's just not in purple.
You just brought up, and I know, and you're going to get to it right now, about what does this Packers team have to do? I'm feeling exactly like all these fans. I'm looking at this stat about Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going, yeah. And I got a bad feeling he's going to take care of that and check the Packers off of that list come Sunday. Why? Why do I feel that way?
So here's something interesting about the morning mind dump, everyone. 414-677-1250. Sometimes it's one thought. Sometimes it's 4 thoughts of the 1,000 thoughts spiraling in Josh's head.
Correct.
So thanks for getting those out.
Yep, I got them out. I feel a lot better.
We'll address some of those later, but right now I got to get to this piece about the Packers. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, NBA starts tonight. Sorry.
Isn't that crazy?
That's how not ready for the NBA you are.
But tell me why I'm with everyone else, tying into your morning mind dump, feeling that Aaron Rodgers is going to win this game. Why am I not confident in the Packers?
I have no idea. That's my question in the morning mind dump, but I want everybody's input on this. 414-677-1250. I don't get it. What is our expectation for the Green Bay Packers right now? What are we looking for that we're not seeing? I'm literally wondering if our expectations are too high. 4-1-1. Brian from De Pere already chimed in. This is fantastic. He says, I think the frustration surrounding the Packers is because they could easily be 6-0. They blew the lead and the game in Cleveland and appeared to play for the tie in Dallas. For him, it comes down to Matt LaFleur. He has very little confidence in his ability to do head coaching things when it matters most. Jason in the 920, he's up, and he can confirm that story of me hanging
by your teeth.
Yeah. He goes, morning mind dump, LaFleur gets out-coached in damn near every game. He constantly makes the wrong adjustments. We're better than our record. If you were to go to my Twitter profile, all right, it's at Trevor Thomas IW. You can follow Josh at On Air Josh. Clearly, I've had some moments in the middle of the Packers game. I have questions. I really needed them to show me more, but as I self-reflect, what am I looking for? Are we winning? Yes. Is Jordan Love playing well? Yes. Which, by the way, pause there for a moment. What are these national pundits talking about in regards to Jordan Love and him not being trustworthy? Josh, hit it.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay. There's some national pundits that
All right,
had
this is
very
Rex Ryan.
There you go.
Talking about it.
But Jordan Love, man, I got no love for Jordan Love, and you know I've never have. And why? Yes, he's got unbelievable ability, and we'll see some amazing plays from him. But at the end of the day, do I trust Jordan Love? No, I don't, because I think he's going to take – and he doesn't do it. Statistically, he says, oh, no, he doesn't turn the ball over. Oh, yes, he does. The biggest moments, he'll turn it over. But Jordan –
He has. But what are we I understand that there was a fumble in Dallas. That wasn't great timing by any means. I understand. But what am I missing? 414-677-1250. I have sat and assessed the situation. Why don't we feel confident in the Green Bay Packers right now? Is it because they're second guessing calls, in our opinion? Is it because Matt LaFleur's third down call before 4th and 2 that they ended up going for, and then they carted the kicker out there and then they brought him back off? Does that seem like indecisiveness? I've never been a head coach of an NFL team. So what's the expectation? We're winning. The Packers are winning. A horrible loss against the Browns, everybody agrees. But a great win against the Lions. A hell of a game against the Cowboys. Doesn't feel good. Yet that tie is working to our advantage.
I have a thought.
Please share.
Is it because we know what's possible? If they didn't start the year with those 2 amazing games, against the Lions, the perfect game, honestly, against the Lions, and then a really, really, really good game against the Commanders, do we feel this way? We are basing every game since on those two games because we saw what this team is capable of. It's not us saying, look, on paper and with Micah Parsons, this team should be elite. And we haven't seen that yet. We have. We have seen it. And because we've seen it, we know what's possible. And they haven't done it since. And that is the frustration that's setting in for Packers fans, not about the win-loss, but because we saw what this team can be, and they're making mistakes week after week that aren't that team. They're not the same team.
But they're still winning. That's what you guys.
I know, but when you see a team that wins in a dominating fashion like they did in weeks 1 and 2, and then you lose that, it's hard to forget. It's hard to forget the beautiful play that you saw to begin the year.
McFly, they didn't lose that. That's my point. They're not losing these games.
No,
they're not. No, Paul, this is why I hate this conversation, because it's half empty. Hello, Positive Pete over here.
Oh,
We're winning. We're winning. Could it be better? Yes. It can always be better. But you're not going to play to perfection every single game. Other than the Browns game, have these mistakes that the Packers are, quote, making cost us anything? Dallas was a tough game. They tied 40-40. That's insane.
Yes, but they didn't tie that game and lose to Cleveland playing the same type of football they played in the first 2 weeks.
There's been one team to ever go undefeated. This is a first-place team.
I understand.
Trevor, so what are they doing wrong though, Josh? That's what I'm completely missing by this in regards to why we don't seem to like the Green Bay Packers right now.
I can't speak for all fans, but I think that fans, I guess like myself, that are confused, asking the same question you are of why do I feel this way, are feeling this way because they're looking ahead in the schedule. They're looking against some of these teams that are going to be difficult matchups, that playing that style and the way that they played in weeks 1 and 2 are still going to be a tough matchup. Even if they play that way, they still might lose to the Steelers, to the Eagles. Those might be really tough games, even if they're playing lights out like they did in weeks 1 and 2. The way that they've played week 3 since, they're going, that type of play, that game, they're not going to win that game.
But you open the conversation with, I don't trust that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to wake up Monday morning and feeling like Brett Favre did, having finally beaten the team that he hasn't in the Green Bay Packers. Until that happens, why are we wishing this into existence? The team is 4-1-1. Do the wins feel fantastic? No, but there's still wins in the NFL. The loss feels like crap. Completely agree. The tie, not a great feeling. But at the end of the day, the Packers haven't done anything in our wins that would cause us to go, geez, we shouldn't have won that. Nope, can't say that. We actually won. So until we see that game, if we see that game where our decisions or our quarterback play or our cornerback play or our receivers that don't, by the way, have the dropsies this year, we've seen improvement.
You think there was a ton of improvement in Arizona?
No, in regards to last season.
Okay.
The dropsies. That's what I was saying.
Gotcha.
We're winning. My point is we're winning. So until we see the things in these games that are making us go, there it is. There it is. That cost us the game right there. We have to lower our expectations, I think. They're winning. As Packer fans, we need to look at this and go, all right, they could be better in here, XYZ. Matt LaFleur can make these decisions. But why can't a human being think about something? He called it, by the way, that was the perfect decision at the perfect time in the perfect game in that scenario. Everything about that decision by Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love was the exact right decision. Because they didn't have that decision ahead of time, is that what we're judging them on?
I mean, they did burn the timeout. They made, statistically,
cool.
they added more risk by not just coming out and being aggressive to go for it right away.
Was it the right decision?
It ended up being the right decision.
No, was it the right decision?
Yes, but I wanted that timeout.
I don't care. It was the right decision. That's my
That's
point.
hindsight. You're living in hindsight, man.
Look how nitpicky we're being. That's my problem. There are fans that look at that and go, geez, there we go, playing for the tie again. We were going to kick. We didn't. But we called a timeout and said, you know what? Let's not kick here. Let's go for this here. Let's play for the win here. So all the things that we were judging the Green Bay Packers on to start the season, these playing to tie, they didn't do it. They made a different decision that won us the game. And we're literally nitpicking that decision, going, look, he was going to kick it. He didn't. He took a timeout. They talked about it. He made a decision, and that won the game. But that's not good enough. Morning Mind Dump, 414-677-1250.
So I need to ask your whole thought on this. So the fact that this team was 2-4, the fact that this team was struggling, the fact that this I don't even remember what the line is. I think it was like 10 for the Packers away. None of that, the fact that it was as close as it was, the fact that the Packers were losing this game for the majority of the game to a 2-4 team, none of that made you think this team could be in trouble if they're up against a 5-1 team?
So my question back is, what's the expectation? That's my whole mind dump. What is the expectation that we're never losing in a game?
No, the expectation is that we play a good enough game, and if we go up against an opponent that is a stack, that it's going to be a tough game, an Eagles or a Steelers, one of these games that are going to be tough games, that we still can go out there and play our best game and hopefully win it. It's playing down to the competition in frustrating fashion.
What makes you think the competition was bad in the Arizona Cardinals? Their record? Because that's
Brissett as your quarterback,
who had more passing yards and more touchdowns than Jordan Love.
In
this game?
Yeah, in the game. But I'm saying prior to the game, you're not thinking the fact that he did that against the Packers doesn't make me feel any better.
We won the game.
I know we won the game. I know we did.
That's what I'm saying.
It's how we won the game.
No, we can't. You cannot go because we won.
Don't tell me how to fan.
You don't tell me. You started this.
Oh, come on.
Sleeping on the couch tonight.
Am I? Well, let me tell you, we have a very comfortable couch.
414-677-1250, the Morning Mind Dump. It's the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor and Josh inside Wisconsin Sports. We do it every morning at 7 o'clock, and now it's your turn. 414-677-1250. What do you got to get off your chest? What are your thoughts on the things that we just talked about in regards to the Packers? Listen, I get it. Is it pretty right now? No, but there's nothing that leads me to believe that what we're doing isn't sufficient. One game. We lost one game. 414-677. I was there. 414-677-1250. We'll be back in a bit with all of your morning mind dumps. There's many that we get to, so stay here. We are going to do that next. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the all-new Wisconsin Sports Radio Network statewide. Green Bay and Appleton on WNFL 99.7 and 101.9 FM. In Wausau, 93.9 The Game. Duluth Superior, WDSM 710 AM. And in Milwaukee, 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. And growing. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We're glad you're here. Here is where we're having a morning mind dump.
Sure.
A morning mind dump that has a little mind of its own at the moment. We have so many amazing texts to get to, and I love that they're split.
Yes.
They're absolutely split. However, we're going to take a phone call first that is on my side. Josh, who are we chatting with?
Yeah, this is Tom in Cedarburg.
Tommy, I
Hey,
hear
guys.
you and I
Hey,
have
guys.
an agreement. We got you, buddy.
How you doing, guys?
We're good. What's your morning mind dump?
I think I understand the frustration with us not blowing them out, but I think we're still relatively young team, and I think until we, reach that peak on offense and defense, these games are going to happen. And I think anytime a youngish team can win on the road, that's a win. So I don't want to treat this team like the Aaron Rodgers teams after a Super Bowl, or the fact that we have all these veterans. And that doesn't mean we don't have work to do. We obviously have a lot of work to do, but I'm tempering my expectations week by week. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. We appreciate you giving us a buzz. So did he agree with me, Josh, or was he kind of in the middle?
No, he was agreeing with you on saying that we shouldn't be as harsh as we're being on this team, but I hate the age argument. I absolutely hate that. I'm sorry. These guys aren't all rookies.
That excuse is perfect for a team that's losing. We're young. That we've used that the last few years. When it didn't.
Which, if you're using that excuse the last few years, they're no longer the young guys. They learn from your mistakes. Hello.
And they're not losing. That's my point. Here, look at this. Jason in the 920, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Do me a favor, he says. When we're on offense, look at the other team's defense and watch the plays that way. Then get back to me about offensive scheme. Oh, Jason, you mean the offense that is beating their defense? That one? The one that the Packers offense is currently vast majority of the time winning against? That one? That's my point. That's my point. What is our expectation? Here's Rhino. I love this text. He says Arizona had a backup quarterback and a fourth string running back, and we pulled out a last-minute struggle win. That's not what elite teams do. Pause. Is that the expectation, that the Packers at this point in the season are an elite team? Because if that's what we're holding them accountable to, then I fully understand your story.
That's what we saw. That's what we saw in weeks 1 and 2. We saw an elite team.
Cool. No team in the history of teams other than one plays at that level the entire season. And I guarantee that 72 Dolphins team didn't either. But there were some close games.
They haven't been there since. Like that, it hasn't been close. We haven't seen that level of play. It's not, well, they had an off week. That's what we were hoping Cleveland was. It was an off week, and they were supposed to come back against Dallas and Micah Parsons' big return and be this whole thing. And it wasn't. And then that was a question mark of, okay, maybe this team isn't as elite as we thought. And then the bye, and then they came out of the bye, and then it was close against the Bengals, and we went, okay, now I'm definitely not feeling like this team is elite.
Okay, so, but if that's the expectation that we're comparing all of this to, then that's a completely separate conversation. At this moment, I'm wondering what our expectations of the Green Bay Packers are. Because as fans, do I want them to blow teams out? Yes. Was I hoping they would in Arizona? Yes. However, the 262 makes a good point, and Matt talked about this yesterday. The Cardinals are 2-5 now, correct? Of their 5 losses, their total combined points in those losses is 13. And 4 of those points came from the Packers loss. Their record does not show how, quote, bad they are. That's not the truth. And we're winning.
Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. Terrell from Milwaukee chimes in. He agrees with you. First, he says, Josh, great to hear you again, buddy. You too, pal. He says, a win is a win. Can we look back at all those ugly Chiefs wins when they were the quote-unquote dynasty? We are winning games we would lose in past seasons. I feel we have something special brewing.
There. Why is that not okay?
It's okay to feel that way. I'm just saying it's also okay to have concern based on the way that these teams are playing, thinking there's some luck involved that's keeping the W happening, keeping it in the win column. I'm telling you, you look at the last few games that these Packers have played, and there's one or two things that they go the other way. This last week, it was the 4th and 2, right? If that gets stopped and they burn that timeout and they end up losing the game, we are having a completely different conversation.
Yes, we are. That's exactly right.
But when it's that close, it's teetering that close. It's not insane to be going, this elite team, this team that blew out and was doing so good the first 2 weeks is not what's happening. We need that team back.
So is that the expectation, though, that it's not going to be close? Because
against a 2-4 team, yes. That is the expectation.
So we're
if you don't
holding
believe
them
me, talk to Vegas.
Records. We're comparing them to the record of the other team, not our own play. That's so crazy to me. Thunder, Trevor, man, not nitpicking. That timeout was awful coaching. Based on what? Then the timeout, do you mean that where he changed the play and won the game on? That timeout that he took? Because we're comparing this to the way we expect a game to go. From our couch, from our chair in our garage. And I'm there with you, clearly live tweeting my frustrations. But as we back out of this now and look at a insanely huge game leading into this weekend against the Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers, it's just silly to think that that's literally like we have to be able to talk to the team about Aaron Rodgers being a thing, right? This was asked of Matt LaFleur during the press conference yesterday in regards to how does he approach this with the team, knowing that we're going up against a banger Steelers team, but we can't ignore the fact that Aaron Rodgers is there, right?
We're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's as simple as that. That is for you guys to talk about. Granted, I mean, we've got a lot of respect and love for Aaron. I mean, what he's done here, is a Hall of Famer. And I know, like, our past together, we had a lot of great moments. But this game is not about that. It's about going to Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football. Our guys will be jacked up. Their guys will be jacked up. It's about the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's for you guys to talk about all those other storylines.
Hey, Mike McCarthy, September 28th, 2009. How are you going to get the team ready in regards to all of the hoopla when you go and play against Favre? Mike McCarthy? Well, really, we're just going to keep it about the football game. Okay. That was a losing opinion on how you should attack this with your team. The Packers lost that game on Monday Night Football against the Vikings.
Yes, they did.
That is questions that we're allowed to ask in a moment when this is what the whole thing has been about since, 2 years ago, was will Aaron Rodgers ever play against the Green Bay Packers? I had him in purple, by the way, through and through. Steelers, black and yellow, fine. I can't wait for the game. And if we don't think that the idea that Mr. Rodgers is there, I think we're kidding ourselves.
Rhino chimes back in. Rhino are on the same page. He said, Trevor, I appreciate where you're coming from with your positive Packers perspective, but the fans are not the ones that set a lofty expectation of this team. Going out and trading for Micah Parsons prior to week 1 and then watching this team absolutely dominate their first 2 opponents set the lofty expectations of this team, and that expectation is to be the best in the NFL.
Okay, hold on. You said that the fans are not the ones that set the lofty expectation?
He's saying when the Packers traded Kenny Clark and they went and they got Micah Parsons, they said, we think that this team was one piece away from winning the Super Bowl, and we just went out and got it. And then they came out in week 1 against Detroit, and they proved we got our piece, and they put the rest of the NFL on notice. And then they went into Cleveland and everything since, and people are not fearing the Green Bay Packers the way they did in weeks 1 and 2. That's the point.
What's interesting is that opinion that you just shared, Josh, isn't correct.
Oh,
they came out.
Oh, my opinion is incorrect. Oh, is that true? Oh.
Yeah, it is. Literally based on facts. They played the Lions to start, correct?
Yes.
Banger of a team. Made all the right decisions.
Yeah.
Scored 27 points. The week after that wasn't the Browns game. It was the Commanders game.
Uh-huh.
Banger of a team.
Yep.
27 points.
Yep.
Comfortable with that win. The Browns game, whoops. Downer of a game.
Supposed to be the fluke. Yep.
Cowboys tie. Scored 40 points.
Yep. This elite defense gave up 40 points.
Yeah. But that's the expectation, that they're an elite defense. That they didn't just go and get an elite player to bring their defense to another level. It's that they are now, bam, an elite defense.
Correct.
That's us setting that expectation.
No, that's us not meeting the expectation. The expectation was set.
Who said it? Who?
The Packers in weeks 1 and 2. You
But
came out on paper, you said, here's how we're going to look. Then you came out in weeks 1 and 2 and you matched how you were going to look. Then in week 3 and 4, you didn't match what you did in weeks 1 and 2 and how you were going to look. You failed. You dipped below the expectation line.
Week 6, Bengals 27 and 18. Elite team, 27 points. Beat the Bengals handily, no problem, right? Well, look at the game yesterday or Sunday against the Cardinals, 27 points. Gave up 23. Micah Parsons had 3 sacks. My point on this is we're all in our feels based on the expectations of what we're seeing on the field, regardless of the results. To call Matt LaFleur's timeout a bad coaching decision when that timeout and his coaching decision won the Packers the game is completely foolish. You're now showing exactly where you expect the Packers to be, even though they're winning and making the right decisions. That timeout, in my opinion, was one of the better things Matt LaFleur has done as a coach. He noticed what he was doing.
Was wrong.
He noticed what he was doing. He called a timeout. He thought about it, had a conversation with his quarterback, and did a gigantically ballsy move to go for it on 4th and 2 in field goal territory at an away game. Instead of playing for the tie, he played for the win, and it won the game. But here we are going, what are we doing? I can't believe they ran out the kicking team. I can't believe we used a timeout there. Whew. Everything that they decided in that moment won the game for the Green Bay Packers. But yet our expectation is
that moment should never have happened.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How? When we look at an NFL game, can we say that moment should have never happened? That's not how sports work. That's not how coaching works.
Why on 3rd and 1, before the play even happens on 3rd and 1, why can't a coach already have in the back of their mind, hey, unless we take a huge sack here, we're going to go for it. We're going to be aggressive because we're already down to 2.5 minutes. And if we kick this field goal, we're going to give them the ball back, but we're not, we only have 2 timeouts. I don't know. I don't like our chances. We're going to be aggressive. And then if he doesn't get it and it ends up being 4th and 2, he already knows exactly what he's doing. He's going out there. He still has 2 timeouts. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And if they don't get it, they go, all right, we turn the ball over, but we got 2 timeouts to let our defense go out there. Micah Parsons eat. We get the ball back. Why is that difficult to do before the 3rd and 1 play happens?
Why is it difficult to decide something different in the moment? Maybe he did have that. Maybe the play call on 3rd down made him go, geez, that was one really ugly play. I think we should kick it now. Or pause, timeout. God, let's think this through. Jordan, come over here. Let's talk about this. Jordan's eyes say, do not kick. Fantastic. I'm so glad I called a timeout, baby. Let's go. Here's the play call. A perfect pass, a perfect catch, a perfect execution. And it's the play that won the game. But leave it to us to go, shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have gotten that far. What? That's how sports works. You take the at-bat. You hit the home run in the 7th to win your team, to win the game for your team. That's how sports works. But our expectation is we're watching this going, God, we need to do better.
Let me ask you a question. And then I know we got to get to a break. Let me ask you a question. If they go out against the Steelers in Pittsburgh and they lose 31-10 and they're never in it because they play exactly like they've been playing the last couple weeks. A lot of mistakes, big penalties, not taking advantage of opportunities, bad schemes, all of those things. then do you see this argument? Is it just because they're finding ways to have won these games? Do you need to see a loss to understand this side of the coin?
That's the most pessimistic thing you've said since we started doing the show together. That's not realism right there. That's complete pessimism. I'm talking about what's happening now. And what's happening now is the Packers are winning games. What happened in that last game? They made tough decisions, called a timeout when you and I would have never called a timeout, and that kept them in and won the game. So to think about, all right, what are we going to talk about on Monday if the Packers lose 31-10? I'm saying, how about we not? They're right now 4-1-1. They're winning. What they're doing now is putting wins in the win column.
And I'm thankful for it. I'm very happy that they are.
Then let's see how it goes against the Steelers. And if all of what you're saying is true, then we'll have a giant crow sandwich on Monday morning, won't we? But as it stands right now, the decisions that the Packers are making, even though there are some concerning things, are winning them football games. That's all I'm saying. I love it. That's what the morning wind-up is all about, baby.
I don't know that I feel better, though.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Passionate fellas are we about Wisconsin sports.
Absolutely.
Not so much other stuff, by the way. Like, this is Inside Wisconsin Sports because that's what we talk about on your way to work in the morning, or you're just chilling before you go to work, wherever you are, watching us on YouTube. YouTube.com/@WI Sports Radio, or just open YouTube and search Inside Wisconsin Sports. Whether you're chiming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250, this is us. This is what we talk about, Wisconsin sports. If you are coming here for national stuff, and we covered a little bit of that at the top of the show because we had to. We can tie that back to Wisconsin sports with what happened last night in the World Series and all that.
And the pain we felt of not being in a Game 7.
Right. When is winning good enough? We're talking about the Packers and how it feels currently, even though we're winning. And we've had conversations on this very radio show about Luke Fickell and where the Badgers football team is, and they're not winning. And now all of these arguments would make sense if we're watching a team go up in smoke like we are the Wisconsin Badgers football program right now. I want to get to, in the next hour, what Chris McIntosh came out and said about not having the tools from the job, because clearly he was listening to us yesterday morning.
True.
But at the end of the day, that's not good enough because they're losing in epic fashion. And so when we look at the Packers and how we feel about their current position, when will winning be good enough, Josh?
Winning is good enough when the clock, when it's all zeros. It changes the whole narrative. Regardless of how it went for all four quarters, if the Packers have more points, you go, all right, they won. At least they won. But that doesn't mean it's not a frustrating win. It doesn't mean that you look at this team that you care about deeply as a Wisconsin sports fan and expect them to be better, want them to be better. You want your kids to be better. You want people, teams, things you care about to be better. There are a lot of things for this Packers team to be better at, and that gives you faith, hope that they can make it to the top of the mountain. I love the conversation right now on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text Line, 414-677-1250. I love that someone went after me here. Adam from Wind Lake.
Oh, you act like there's one. There's more. Like, this is fairly split, which is what I love.
But not my opinion. Like, he's going after me. He said, Josh, there are ups and downs throughout the season. Do you reach your average every week that you bowl? Adam, you can ask my team. I am not elite. They did not add me to their team and go, oh, we have Josh Albrecht on our team now. Look out, rest of Wednesday night bowling league. We have Josh Albrecht now. Our expectations are through the roof. We're winning this whole damn thing. Not the same. Not the same. That was what happened with this Packers team when they added Micah Parsons. Everything changed.
Trevor, you're coming off like you're telling us how to fan, which I do not appreciate. Josh is correct here that this team has concerns. Wait until the schedule heats up. LaCroix Butler. All right.
Thank you, LaCroix.
Cool.
Very smart listener.
So, understood. My intention is not to tell you how to fan. My intention is asking, why are we choosing to fan this way? Why are we choosing as Packer fans to be upset about a winning football team in first place? Are there opportunities for improvement? Yes, there always will be. But to sit back and go, that timeout was dumb, Brett. No, Trevor. LaFleur having to call the timeout is another illustration of him not being prepared. He already should have known he'd go for it without the need to see the look on his quarterback's face. Or better yet, the play they ran on fourth down should have run on third down instead of that garbage play he chose. Okay, two separate things here. The garbage play he chose on third down was garbage because it looked like garbage. It did not work. The choosing of him going for it on fourth down was decided in a strategic timeout and conversation. Why isn't that okay? That's what I don't understand. In the heat of the moment in the game, when we're expecting people to be 2 or 3 plays ahead, why can that not change? Why in that moment can Matt LaFleur go timeout, literally timeout? I'm having flashbacks here. I don't want to play to win or to tie the game. I want to play to win the game. So here's the play that we're going to use to win the game. Ready? Break. They came out on the field. They ran the play. It worked. They won the game. That's what. Why are we being so critical of that particular moment in this game when it was that moment that won the Packers the game?
But it's not just us. I have to make sure I get this text in because the person started it with, Josh is completely right. Always a great way to get your text read. If we had not gotten that first down, the game is over. LaFleur said, quote, he needs to be better at the end of the game. He clearly wasn't. If LaFleur.
No, he was. He was better. He was better. If you saying he wasn't, that is completely false information. That's fake news.
But did he say that? Did LaFleur say that about the timeout? About when he decided to go for it on fourth? That's what this texter is saying. He's saying that in that moment, seeing and changing the play, making the decision based on Jordan Love's face and reaction and putting him out there.
At the end of the day, the decision was made. And that's maybe what I'm missing in this whole conversation. I would like to pick this back up at some point in the future and go, all right, let's rehash this.
Yeah. You want to table it?
Well, at this moment, because that's all we have to go off of at this time.
Sure.
So let's see how this goes. I am super jacked for this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. Totally can't wait to watch it. Monday morning, I'm going to be tired.
Yeah.
We're all going to be tired.
27-10. That's the hope. Packers.
And then we're probably going to come back into these very chairs and go, geez, should have made this, should have made that, should have made this. And I'm going to go, we're winning. And hopefully that's the case. 414-677-1250. I have a question for you at the top of the next hour. There was a whole conversation yesterday with Mason Crosby.
Oh, it was brilliant.
And this football that he has that is apparently now junk. But what it once was before this past season was the record-setting longest field goal in Packers history football. Which isn't junk now.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's second
outdated.
best.
It's outdated.
And that's okay. These things will happen. Stay here. I want you to hear what he thinks he should do with this football. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here about
from the right hash. Lucas Anderson from 61. And the kick is good. A new Green Bay Packers franchise record. A 61-yard field goal by Haversick. Man, he put all of that right leg into that kick. And kudos to Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, the offense, understanding the timing and the situation.
A record-setting 61-yard field goal. The new record for the Green Bay Packers, the longest field goal in a game in Packers history. Only beating Mason Crosby by 3 yards. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is on your radio, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. I have questions for you tomorrow about this whole don't tell me how to fan thing.
Oh, happy to help.
I want to get to that tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter at Inside Wis Sports for the show. Myself at Trevor Thomas IW, for Josh at On Air Josh. The network at WI Sports Radio. We will not be tweeting the same things from those accounts.
No.
Those are 4 great follows if we do say so ourselves.
Yes.
If you want to stay in the know, those are must-haves on your Twitter reel. And Josh and I think we're funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
my wife doesn't, but
you pissed me off last night.
What?
You don't get to tweet that at me. We had just gotten off the phone last
It's true.
night.
It's true. We did.
Hey, buddy. Hey, man. All right. Here's the show plan. Here's everything that we got laid out. I love it. I'll see you in the morning. Talk to you. Ding. Josh, Trevor Thomas, I have questions. And now there's this guy annoyed that I wanted to be that team losing in that game 7. I was like, no, dude, we just said go to bed.
Sorry, I had a question.
We'll save it for tomorrow.
I had questions.
YouTube.com/Wis Sports. Forgive me, that's wrong. At WI Sports Radio. YouTube.com/@WI Sports Radio. Just search Inside Wisconsin Sports if you want to see our ugly mugs.
Yeah,
as part of your morning routine. The Nicolay Law talk and text line 414-677-1250. Y'all are on fire today, and we absolutely love it when you chime in. We want you to feel a part of the show, not listening to the show. We hope in that last hour that you absolutely feel like you're a part of the show, and we need you right now. So here's the conversation with that highlight that we just played to start the show here in the 8 o'clock hour. A big old kick from a big old leg at Arizona sets the new Packers franchise record for longest field goal, a 61-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Who held the record before, you might ask? Well, of course, it's our very own Mason Crosby, the Mason Crosby Show, noon to 2 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, who tweeted out, congrats to Lucas Haversick on breaking my franchise record field goal with that 61-yard banger. And there's a picture of Mason holding the football. That's all painted, all nice. I mean, it's a nice looking football.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
This was in 2011, October 23rd, 2011, Mall of America Field. He kicked the franchise record 58-yard field goal. Packers win over the Vikings 33-27. What shall we do with that football now, Mace?
Well, I hope that the Green Bay Packers will give you a game ball with, the printed franchise record, new franchise record holder, 61-yard field goal. I have a ball here that has the old record on it, but, I think that one I'm just going to go play in the yard with the kids, throw it around a little bit. But walk us through that play.
And then he goes on from there.
Yesterday on the Mason, just go throw it around the yard with the kids.
I got to say, too, if you missed the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch and Ellis presented by Verizon yesterday, I mean, they talked about how Mason literally texted Mitch and Tommy as that kick happened, the picture of the ball, and said, so what am I supposed to do with this now?
Dude, I thought he texted Lucas and McManus.
No, I mean, Mitch told me, like I'm standing back there. He's like, yeah, I mean, the second it happened, he's like, cool. So funny. So funny.
So here's my question. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Is there a piece of sports memorabilia that you have from, let's say, your childhood or your high school career, maybe your college career, or something that you earned per se, like you were awarded this for setting a record, that you have that means something to you, but is probably completely useless to everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, that is a really cool football.
Yeah.
Josh, I've spent some time in Pepper Burris's basement. Pepper Burris, former trainer of the Green Bay Packers for decades.
Yeah, humble brag, yeah.
One time I was there, but I was there for like 3 hours.
Okay.
He invited me over. We had him on the podcast, the Inside Wisconsin podcast. And he's like, Trev, you just need to come down here and experience what I have. Holy wow.
Yeah.
Now, here's a set of memorabilia that everyone that cares about the Green Bay Packers would care about. He's got all sorts of those footballs, right? That are just chilling on a shelf for whatever the case may be that he was a part of. But the other stuff that he has blew my mind. So I'm down there, and all of a sudden we're chatting, probably having a cocktail. This is years ago. And he throws some tape at me. It was used, like kind of dirty, not crumpled up, but just tape, athletic tape. And I go, what is that? Yep.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
After every game, Reggie White walked up to Pepper and had his fists in the air. And that was Pepper's cue to cut the tape off that Reggie used to tape his wrist with every single game he played.
Epic.
The Super Bowl in 1996. Reggie walks up to Pepper, wrists in the air. Pepper cuts off the tape. Reggie runs away, and Pepper stands there and goes, might want to keep this one.
Yeah, I might keep this one.
Puts it in his pocket.
Brilliant.
Dude.
Brilliant.
There's all sorts of stuff like that in Pepper's collection. It is bonkers. Now, to you and I, it's tape, but the story behind that. So what memorabilia do you have that you have stories of? I brought this up to you last night when we were planning the show and we're told to go to bed.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
And you said,
I
got one.
That was like 5 minutes before I sent that tweet. I've bowled one 300 game in my life. I've done a lot in bowling. I've had some accomplishments, but I've only had one 300. When that ball no longer was hitting the way I needed it to, I said, I cannot get rid of this. And I turned that bad boy into a lamp. I drilled holes through it and bought a DIY lamp kit, and I made it into a bowling ball lamp. And I went, this means so much to me. This is so cool. I'm going to, this is a story that I'm going to get to tell people. That has sat in my basement. It hasn't been, it's definitely unplugged. I don't think it's been turned on in like, I don't know, how old are my kids? Like, it's just been, it was a great idea. And if I see it, like I saw it last night when you asked the question, I went and I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, there it is. Like it's still there, but that means a lot to me. And that wouldn't get $3 at a rummage sale.
But it's a great story.
Right. Right.
All the bobbleheads that I have on the set of the Inside Wisconsin podcast, they all have stories. I have things back there behind me that are meaningless to everybody else. Next time you watch it, Josh, if I move a certain way, you can see a trophy with a little car on top.
Okay.
Okay. So when we started the podcast, John Anderson went and grabbed his Emmys from SportsCenter, and he threw those behind him. I'm like,
yeah,
jerk,
cool.
move.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, what trophies do I have laying around here? By golly, look at that. Class C Pinewood Derby, first place.
Let's go.
Boom.
Yeah.
On the set.
Love it.
Completely meaningless.
Dude, I was also in Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, by the way. Humble brag. I had my rain gutter regatta. Did you do the boat one too, or just the Pinewood Derby? You know what I'm talking about with the boat?
No, just the Pinewood Derby one. I didn't do the boat one.
The boat, I won the boat one in Cub Scouts, and I held on to that boat for a very long time. I think my parents ended up throwing it out, but I held on to that for like 20 some years. Did not want to let that go.
The Nicolay Law talk and text line 414-677-1250. Steve in G-Town. The only home run I ever hit over a fence in a blowout loss, like 16-2 in 3 innings. The ball was in a little case, and it ain't going anywhere.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Steve. That's a great text. That's what we're looking for. God, I love that.
Jacob in a van. I have a football signed by Sam Congato when he was at training camp. He's a doctor now.
Yeah,
Did you know
that's
that?
Dr. Sam Congato to you.
Sam Congato to you.
Yeah. Now, see, now here's the difference between Steve and Jacob. Nothing against the Sam Congato football, but I'm looking for something that like was, something, a personal story for you, something you did, something you held on to that if people like, you might only get $10, $15 for that signed football, Jacob in a van, but you could get $10, $15 for it. You're not going to get that for Stephen G. Town's baseball that he hit over the fence in a huge loss.
Okay, look at Jason in the 920. Look at his text about a bowling ball. This is true. So Jason and I grew up together. Been one of my best friends since kindergarten. And he is a hell of a bowler.
Yeah, we talked about it.
And we invited him up to something called the Pink Flamingo Bowling 9-Pin Classic. The Pink Flamingo is that nonprofit that I'm a part of. We put on a whole bunch of different events. One of them is a 9-pin bowling tournament. Jason came up and bowled in it. And I used the ball that he brought. And it was the ball that he bowled a 300 with. Okay. I out-bowled him with it that day. And he said, you know what, Trev? If you're going to bowl more than I am, because I don't use this ball anymore, why don't you just keep it and bowl with it? I'm like,
oh, that was a mistake by Jason.
Sounds great. It was a major mistake.
Oh, no.
That ball sat behind my couch for some time in our old house. And that ball was near, the only thing I can think of was a heat register or the AC register.
Oh, no.
So here's what I didn't know. I was unaware that balls expand and contract.
Mm-hmm.
Don't clip
Science.
that either. Don't clip that either.
That's being clipped as well, yeah.
God, I hate my life sometimes. So the bowling balls, apparently, with temperature, expand and contract. I was unaware. This was also the same room that was right next to the patio door in the winter and the room we had the fireplace in. So to say that this room went through a temperature change or two is an understatement. And he asks for the ball back. And I'm like, dude, I know exactly where it is, which is saying something for me.
No problem, bud.
Got it. I pick it up.
No.
And I go, oh my God. It is completely cracked. Like, and I'm not talking just a little crack.
Like
it is
in 2 pieces?
No, not quite, but it's like a 1/4-inch crack all the way around the ball.
Yeah, it's split.
Here's the problem. I probably came up with some BS story that I told him when that happened, and now I just told the real story.
Wow, you lied to your friend
I
on
don't think
top
I lied
of it.
to him. I just don't know that I put 2 and 2 together until just now.
Mm.
And I was afraid. Jason's we fought a lot when we were kids, and he won a lot when we were kids. One more story quick from Pepper Burris's basement while you look at some of these talking text line.
Which are some brilliant ones coming in.
Talking text line. We want to get to these, but yet you don't like it when I don't proofread these. So why don't you proofread a couple
I'm reading
while
a
I
few
tell
of them.
one more story? And this is nuts. So back to Pepper Burris's basement, longtime Packer trainer. He's giving me a tour of all of the memorabilia he has. He's already thrown Reggie White's Super Bowl tape at me, and we're hanging out by his bar. And all of a sudden there's this, like, I don't know, turquoise, blue, green felt like bag with a hole in it. And it's got a white string on top. And he literally throws it at me. And he's like, Trev, what do you think that is? And like a laundry bag is what my thought was. Josh, that was the bag that the Super Bowl 31 trophy came in from Tiffany's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then
that's
he goes,
baller.
And he goes, oh, here it is. And that's the one that Super Bowl 45 came in. Like, to someone else, complete junk. To him and all of us, absolute gold. What are some more stories from the Nicolay Law talking text line?
Derek from Whitewater. I have a trophy I won for World National Wrist Wrestling Championships.
Whoa.
First place when I was 17. Keeping that forever as long as my wife doesn't throw it away. You can't let her throw that away. That's a national championship, a world championship trophy. Come on. I love that. That's what I'm talking about, though.
The 414, here we go. Back in the day, I went to a Ray Myers basketball camp here in northern Wisconsin, and he has a handwritten letter from Ray, which apparently he will be buried with. Do you know who Ray Myers is?
No.
Me neither. Okay.
Sorry, am I supposed to? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel bad.
But hey, hey, don't tell him how to fan with his memorabilia. That's a big deal.
I'm not even thinking about it. Happy for him. Bob in Minneapolis is saying, Josh, didn't you get a 300 ring to commemorate the? Yes, of course I got the ring, but it was more than that. I didn't want to just throw the ball out. It was my 300. I wanted to do something with it. That's why I made that. Also, speaking of the bowling balls, someone else here saying, why didn't you just tell him you lost it? And then and then throw the ball out.
No,
Jason's
I
ball.
do that. Nah.
Why? You're going to give him back something garbage instead?
Completely useless. Well, did you read the rest of his text? He still has it.
Well,
you don't get rid of it.
That's true.
Accidents happen.
Okay.
I had no idea that A, ball did that. B, that sitting in a living room that happens to have a fireplace and be next to a patio door would cause a ball to crack. I had no clue.
Listen, I'm just going to say it. This is kind of making more sense of why Jason the 920 outed you for the Cubs fan stuff. You know, you ruined his 300 bowling ball. I get it. I get it now.
If you think that those are where the stories end with me and Jason, keep listening to this show because they will slowly trickle out. I was talking with a buddy last night. Shoo. He goes, dude, are you on the radio now in the morning? I'm like, yeah, me and Josh, Inside Wisconsin Sports. He's like, I love it. I love the story that you were telling yesterday morning at whatever time. And I was like, Shoo, my whole life is a radio show.
True.
Like everything that's happened to me in my life is a sports radio show and or a dumb dude doing dumb stuff radio show. I've got the stories. You want to hear another one? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, though, so I'll save it for tomorrow. Let's just say I went tubing on a lake in northern Wisconsin that I may have had a couple 2-3 beers before I went out there, and it didn't end well. I bled. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Played in the first, what is that word?
Quidditch. Yeah, Harry Potter. He played. This is Garrett and Tomahawk, who said, I played in the first Quidditch match in Wisconsin and got a broom for playing in it. Still have it in my garage. To be fair, it looks like a decorative broom. Ray Meyer, legendary basketball coach, DePaul University. That's who they're talking about.
Oh, look at Jason. You didn't lie, and you offered to replace it. Yes, I did. And accidents happen. These are fantastic. Nicolay Law talking text line. The conversation is, what is a piece of memorabilia that you have that means something to you, but maybe not to somebody else, or vice versa? Is it something that you have a story about that would mean something really cool to us? I want to get to all of these, Josh. Let's take a quick break. All of this conversation comes from Mason Crosby's football that the Packers gave him when in 2011 he kicked the game record-setting longest field goal in Packers history. It was 58 yards. And that was the winner in the clubhouse until this past Sunday. And now Mason's like, well, what do I do with this? Well, I think you keep it, bud. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, play with it. Deal. Play with it in the backyard, apparently.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on your radio every morning on the all-new Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, 6 to 9 inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the postgame show with Tommy Wartz. The all-new lineup on the all-new Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 4 stations statewide and growing, Josh. We're on live in Green Bay and Appleton on 99.7 and 101.9 WNFL, in Wausau on 93.9 The Game, Duluth Superior, WDSM 710 AM. Good morning. Far northern Wisconsin. Love it. And in Milwaukee, of course, 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. The Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250. One more really good one in the conversation of what's a piece of sports memorabilia that you have or you earned that probably means not much to someone else, but by golly, do you have a story about it?
Yeah, there are some unique ones, and we appreciate everyone texting in. This one is definitely a unique situation. The 414 says he has a useless bowling pin. About 30 years ago, his mother was dating a professional bowler. No one would know. His name's Mel Acosta. I don't know who that was. You're right. He said, I got a C in a class, and my mom was mad at me about it. I thought this guy was awesome, so I had him sign a bowling pin for me. On it, he wrote, if I ever see a grade C again, I'll kill you. And I have the pin to this day.
Good God.
Why? That's
It's
not
okay
only
to
useless to everyone else, that should be useless to you. How is that not a bad moment? You thought this guy was awesome, and then he threatened you. That one should be a toss. That's a toss, bud.
Toss it. And are we ready to toss Luke Fickell?
Oh, what a transition you just made.
Listen, the Badgers aren't well at all.
No. There's no argument like the Packers.
No.
We had.
Thank you.
No.
That's my whole point.
Man.
Yesterday morning, I asked the question, and I have questions at 6:25, whether Luke Fickell had the tools for the job. And then I immediately followed that up with, I don't know what the tools are. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's players. I don't know if it's money. But does he have the right tools for the job? Literally, that verbiage is what I used. And that was at like 6:30 yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, a little bit later than that, between 9 and 10
later.
A few hours later. Exactly. From the desk of Chris McIntosh, he comes out with this giant statement that essentially says Luke Fickell's safe. And he doubles down on what he and the chancellor are working on in regards to tools for the job. Literally those words.
It was ironic, for sure.
It says right here, I'm going to read this verbatim. While we still have a lot of football to play this season, with the support and significant involvement of the chancellor, athletics is committed to elevating the investment into our football program to position us to compete at the highest level. As a department, quote, we must provide our coaches the tools necessary to succeed. What are those tools, you ask? That means more athletics-funded investments into infrastructure, staffing, and most importantly, student-athlete recruiting and retention. In this new era of college athletics, the clear reality is that high expectations must be matched with an equal level of support. End quote. Dude was listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports.
He had to have been.
100% chance. Because that's literally what I said before this statement came out. Does he have the tools for the job? And I don't know what the tools are, but good news, apparently Chris McIntosh does. It's coaches, it's facilities, it's players, it's money, it's recruitment, which are the same thing, by the way.
Yep. Okay. I didn't buy any of that. Sorry. That looked like a big PR mumbo jumbo statement that says, oh boy, things are getting out of hand. I got to say something. None of what he said makes me feel more confident in Fickell, more confident in his ability to get the money, spend the money, or turn this program around. None of it changed anything.
When he made the decision to bring Luke Fickell in and move on from who would be the successor in Jim Leonhard, who, by the way, turned down the NFL Green Bay Packers D coordinator position because the Wisconsin program was his to take over and flourish with. When Chris McIntosh made the decision not to do that, but instead to take the Wisconsin football program to places it's never seen before. Yep, mission accomplished. Whoops. And so at the end of the day, I'm wondering, Josh.
Yeah.
Is McIntosh going to go down with the ship? Is this the hill he'll die on?
That's a good question. Yes, or it's such a short leash he has one more go. But there's a lot of question marks around this program. Our buddy Tommy Warts, he's on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch and Ellis, presented by Verizon. He also does the 5 to 6 p.m. Huge Badgers fan. Huge. And he cannot understand where the University of Wisconsin is hiding the money. He says they have the money. When did the University of Wisconsin all of a sudden not have money to fund these programs, to be competitive, when did they become a second-rate, not be able to raise the funds school? That's been his whole argument. I just feel like this whole thing is such a mess and they can't get out of it. I don't know. You talk about the tools. I feel like Fickell is one of the tools.
He's supposed to be.
And so you're worrying about a tool needing tools. Isn't he supposed? We were so hyped when he was brought in. He was supposed to be the difference. Now here we are after back-to-back shutouts saying, well, where are the tools for him? Wasn't he supposed to be the tool? Wasn't he supposed to be the one that was going to recruit these players? Wasn't he supposed to be the one that was going to change the program for the better and get them to that next level? That's where I'm sitting here going, you're worrying about, does Luke Fickell have the tools? I'm sitting here going, he is the tool. He's supposed to be.
He's the toolbox.
He was supposed to be the difference, not someone we provided the difference with.
A few weeks ago, Matt LaFleur said that it was like watching a slow-motion car crash at the end of the Dallas Cowboys game. And you're like, dude, you were driving the car.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, you're the toolbox. This is a great point from the 414. He says, at the time, wasn't everybody so excited for the hire of Luke? And then just some bad luck with starting QBs? But losing one guy shouldn't bring down the whole team. That's on the coach. That's a great point. I've often wondered what it takes to move on from a coach. And there are some people making the excuse that he's had a starting quarterback go down at the start of the season in his entire tenure here. Money aside for just a moment. To that point, on the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, that's not an excuse you can land on. Especially in the time of collegiate athletics that we're in, where it's next man up scenario because there's a paycheck along with it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot allow an entire program to be going through what we're going through right now. I understand the offense is junk, but that does not make the entire program junk unless it does. And that's what it feels like right now.
We love to compare situations happening outside of the state to us within the state. I'm going to do a in-state comparison in-state. If you compare this scenario with Luke Fickell to what certain Packers fans are saying about Matt LaFleur, the whole conversation of is it time to move on from Matt LaFleur? Can Matt LaFleur do the job? Blah, 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 blah. There's a question mark of the grass isn't always greener. You're upset that Matt LaFleur isn't doing X, but he has a leg to stand on with his wins, his record, et cetera, et cetera. The problem in Madison is that Luke Fickell has reached a point to where can you really sit there and say the grass isn't always greener? You haven't won a game this season, and you haven't scored any points in 2 games. That's at a point where you're saying, I don't know that we could get much worse. Maybe it's time to move on.
It's not
That's
as the
the
grass,
difference.
It's not as the grass greener. Is the dirt browner?
Is there grass? Is there grass?
The grass is dormant. No, it's not. It's dead. The grass is completely dead, and it bothers me.
It'd be different if it was, they've only won 2 games this season. That's not the argument we're having.
Interesting point here from Bricky in Wrightstown. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. You guys have to remember, Luke Fickell is a state employee, the highest paid state employee. So if Luke Fickell is fired, he's still owed $30 million of our taxpayer dollars. And then his replacement will be paid millions in taxpayer dollars. Okay, Ricky. Maybe it's funneled through the state, but I promise you the amount of money that is in the Wisconsin football program are post-tax dollars from gazillionaires who want to see this thing work. That's how the NIL works.
But this is a perfect example of what Tommy was saying, of these arguments like the one from Bricky on it's going to cost money. You guys don't understand. Getting rid of Fickell, it's not just that he's doing poorly as a coach. It's going to cost us money. The school doesn't have money. Tommy's saying, when did the school all of a sudden not have money? And it's a good question. I have no idea. It's a huge question mark for me on what's the financial situation towards the athletic programs at the University of Wisconsin. I don't know.
I don't know that it's that they don't have money. I think there's a question of how much money does one need to succeed in college athletics today? And by the way, I'm on record somewhere in my Twitter verse.
Yeah, go back far enough, yeah.
And I mentioned this yesterday, and I'll bring it up again today. I don't know if what we know as professional athletics, whether it's at the baseball level with the situation with no salary cap and the Dodgers and all the teams at the top with the payrolls, or in college athletics with all of these teams that are pumping so much money into a program that a team like Wisconsin, if they don't have the right coach, the right tools, the right this, the right that, or the big enough checkbook, can they even compete? Is that sustainable as a fan? And I'm dead serious with this. I've literally been on record saying I'm not convinced that the current model of professional sports, whether it's at the college level or the city level, is sustainable.
You making good points here to end the show. I have said for a long time that I have a problem with college football and the way that it is set up. That's why I've always said I prefer college basketball, March Madness, and just the tournament itself. College football is so different that for years and years and years, even when the Badgers were a powerhouse, even when you loved going to a Badger game, you knew that if they lost one game, maybe 2, the season was over. Your chances of winning a championship were done. And that could have came in week 2, week 3 of the season. And that's tough to stomach as a fan. To go into a season going, all it takes is one loss and the whole season is done because of how it's structured and the competition and all these other schools and the way that it's all broken down. You don't have that in other leagues. And then when you add in the NIL deals and just the money and all these other aspects, it makes it very difficult to be a University of Wisconsin football fan. Absolutely.
Before we get to break and move on to What's Up Wisconsin to kind of close out the show and hear what you guys are all doing today, look at this point from Ryan on the Nicolay Law talking text line. Ryan says one of the things nobody is talking about is if you do fire Fickell, who becomes the coach? And does that fix what is currently broken?
I understand that point, but like I just said, it's usually that's the same argument we're having with LaFleur of who makes it better. But when the argument is the grass greener, the argument is, can we get grass?
That's it.
Then then yes, then you don't worry about who it is. You just look at it and go, it can't be worse. It
The
can't be worse
difference
than
is-
losing every game.
I mean, to your point, which I love, the difference is one coach is winning and one coach is not.
Exactly. Yep.
So, my God, how could we possibly be comparing the two? And or how could we possibly be at the coach that's in first place in winning? Thank you for making my point after an hour-long conversation of why we're in Matt LaFleur's behind.
No, hold on, man. We're talking about
You
Badgers
just made it.
here.
No, you just made the point. You
Yes,
just made my point.
No, this was Luke Fickell. We're talking Luke Fickell.
Yeah, and you brought up Matt LaFleur. Up next, what's up, Wisconsin? What are you doing today? What do we need to know? What are you watching? What are you partaking in? Where's lunch? I'm starving.
Oh, good point.
What's next? That's next. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, this is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Trevor just asked, what's for lunch? Better question, what's for dinner? And it should be at Henry Flock's in West Dallas. Henry Flock's is always introducing new items like their calamari seasoned perfectly and served with their house-made vodka sauce. Speaking of their vodka sauce, you got to try the shrimp and scallop pasta, topped with Parmesan. It is so good. And don't forget about their incredible drinks like the Ruby Slipper or your classic supper club favorites like a Pink Squirrel or Orange Dreamsicle ice cream drink. Whether it's an exceptional steak or something different, there's always an amazing meal waiting for you at Henry Flock Steakhouse. It's so much more than just a steak place.
What's up, Wisconsin? One more segment, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio with Trevor and Josh. It is time for What's Up, Wisconsin? And it doesn't have to be sports related. Because let's be honest, there's not a lot of sports up today.
It's a little dry out there.
A little bit. It feels like summer. The Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250. What's up in your world? That's what we want to know. Get it into us. We'll read it on the air. What's up? What are you guys doing today? I'll go first. You always go first.
Yeah. No, you go first today.
I need to get out of here for two things. Number one, we're recording the rest of the podcast today. John Anderson and I.
Yeah.
Okay? New pod hits Thursday. Cordell Tinch. Do you have any idea who Cordell Tinch is?
Only because I saw your social media post.
Dude is a world champion, and he's from Wisconsin. He's a world champion hurdler. And these are the ones that I love the most, Josh. When I don't really know who this is, because I'm not a big track and field guy, but the dude has an incredible story, and that's what the pod side of this is all about. Josh and I, what's up today? The pod, deeper dive into the lives of the people that we recognize most in sports or that we don't recognize. So I got to go finish recording that because John and I are like, what if the Brewers are in the World Series? Like, yeah, well, nothing to worry about in that category.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
But then I got to get home to mow the lawn. Can I just mowing the lawn this time of year annoys me because Wisconsin can't make up its mind. Are we going dormant or are we going to grow? And there's no in between. It's either I'll mow it once every 2 weeks until we don't anymore, or good God, is the grass growing because we're getting rain finally and now I can't keep up.
You got trees? You got leaves? Mulching them leaves with it?
Some, but I have a bagging lawnmower from Milwaukee Tool. Love you.
Oh, love
In case
Milwaukee
you need
Tool.
an endorsement, I'm your guy.
Also me.
No, me first. I said me first.
I got a ton. How many Milwaukee? Oh, are we going to do a Milwaukee
You want to
Tool
do
off?
it now? No. Yeah.
I got a lot of them. I spent a lot of money I don't have on Milwaukee Tools.
I get a lot. Okay. All right. Anyway, I got to mow the lawn.
I don't have Milwaukee lawnmower.
Other than that, dude, I don't have a lot going on today, which is kind of nice. We think Rhodey got a concussion last night.
Oh no.
Yeah. What a dum-dum though. Like, and I told him this. I was like, dude, you got to tell somebody when you see stars.
Oh, not good.
But a concussion today, and this is an excuse. It's just reality. Concussion today was not what a concussion was when we played.
Correct.
It's just not. And so all that happened was he went to make a tackle in the first play of the game, and he kind of slid, and his head skidded, and he got a little lightheaded and thought he saw stars when he stood up. That is not the concussions that I had.
Correct.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew what stars looked like. That doesn't sound like it, but today it does. And now he's got a headache today. But the playoffs start this week for Wisconsin. The WIA playoffs start on Friday. Teams across the entire state getting ready for that. So hopefully he's all right, but he's at home now, just kind of resting with a headache. And we're trying to get him to school by noon so the trainer can see him. But that's the only thing we have today, which is so awesome.
Yeah, that's good. I hope he's okay, man.
What about you? Thanks.
All right. Well, so for starters, I always like to look at what we do have in sports. And all we have is the start of the NBA, but it's not the Bucks. So it's not even the Bucks. That's tomorrow. So really, for me, the NBA doesn't even start today. But technically, if you need something to watch, the Rockets and Thunder are going to play at 6:30 on NBC, and then the Warriors and Lakers are going to play at 9 p.m. also on NBC. You can watch those games on Peacock as well. Tuesdays, Jordy has Taekwondo.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be taking him to that. And then I record one of my many podcasts, the ones with my Roosevelt's Shirt Nerds is tonight.
37. You host 37 podcasts?
That's just about. That's what it feels like.
And a morning radio show?
Yeah, I do a lot. So I got plenty of stuff that I could be doing tonight, but not sports related. Taking the night off from sports.
All right, what's up, Wisconsin? Get him in. The Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Matt from Auburn. What's up, Wisconsin? Loving the YouTube stream. Hamburger Helper Lasagna is happening tonight. Cannot wait. Keep up the great work. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate that. And for watching on
Matt.
YouTube.
Have a good day.
If you want to enjoy YouTube and the live stream, you can. It is simply youtube.com/@WI Sports Radio, or you can just open up YouTube, click the search bar, and type in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Enter. There we are. We will pop right up. Look at this from the 262. Okay. Got to make a homeopathic
be careful.
carpet cleaner to get this GD smell out of the carpet by my back door, perceivably from a pet.
Yes.
The smell is one of foulness.
Couldn't you also just I don't know, use carpet cleaner? I don't know. Listen.
Resolve.
No, it's up to you. 414 said, "Hey Josh, just wondering, do you still go to Natty Oaks and get a big old bowl of chili?" Yeah, I absolutely do, but that's for Fridays.
Yeah,
we
I'm
save that on
hungry.
Fridays.
That's what that came from me saying I'm hungry. I'm hungry today. I don't know. I've been eating like a rabbit when we do these shows because I can't get into whatever the new routine is that I need to have in my life.
It's different. And listen, it's tough. It's tough. I'm telling you, I've been giving in too, and you got to make it through the show. Like eating something right away because you're tired and you're looking for energy.
Yep.
It's not the way to go.
Nope, I don't. So I wake up, I pour myself a big old thing of coffee that my wife preps, which is so nice of her.
That is very nice.
I click brew, even though I know there's a timer, but I click brew. And then I have this giant thing of coffee with this giant thing of water. And at this time right now, I am starving because I haven't eaten anything, but I have a protein shake ready and waiting for me. Do you care? Didn't think so. But that's what's up, Wisconsin. You just got to tell us what's up in your life. We'll tell you what's up in ours. That's how we close out every single one of these shows. The show, Inside Wisconsin Sports, with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're dedicated to Wisconsin, you all. That's what we want you to be with us for. If you got a passion for Wisconsin sports, we're your people. And good news, we'll see you tomorrow.
Because we are not done yet.